What really happened during Courtney's sudden disappearance from the spotlight? In 2026, the return of Courtney is drawing renewed attention across the music industry, with many observers describing it as one of the most intriguing comeback narratives of the year. From a reporting standpoint, her absence was not marked by controversy or public conflict, but rather by silence, something that often raises more questions than answers. Industry sources now suggest that this period away was intentional, allowing her to step back from external expectations and reassess her artistic direction. Rather than maintaining a constant presence, she appears to have prioritized long-term development over short-term visibility. This approach, while risky in a fast-moving industry, may have given her the space needed to redefine her identity as an artist. As coverage intensifies, analysts are beginning to view her return not just as a continuation of her career, but as a carefully planned re-entry into an evolving music landscape. Could stepping away have been the move of her career? Reports indicate that during her time out of the public eye, focused heavily on creative exploration. According to insiders, she used this period to experiment with new sounds, collaborate privately, and refine her artistic voice without the pressure of immediate release schedules. From a newsroom perspective, this strategy reflects a growing trend among artists choosing depth over speed. Rather than producing content to remain visible, appears to have invested in building a stronger foundation for her future work. Analysts note that such decisions often signal a shift from emerging talent to established artist status. The absence, once seen as a potential setback, is now being reframed as a critical phase of growth. As new details emerge, it becomes increasingly clear that her comeback is rooted in preparation rather than impulse, positioning her for a more sustainable presence in the industry. Is this comeback actually a reinvention in disguise? Early insights into upcoming music suggest a noticeable transformation in style and presentation. Where her earlier work emphasized raw energy and vocal intensity, her new material is described as more refined and layered. Music critics report a blend of alternative pop influences with subtle experimental elements, creating a sound that feels both modern and personal. From a reporting angle, this shift is significant because it signals a departure from the formula that initially brought her recognition. Rather than repeating past successes, appears to be exploring new creative territory. This decision, while potentially divisive among fans, aligns with broader industry movements toward genre fluidity and artistic independence. Early reactions suggest curiosity and cautious optimism, as listeners attempt to understand the direction of her evolving sound. What is she trying to say with her new music? Lyrical analysis of recent work points to a deeper level of introspection. According to early reviews, her songs now focus on themes such as personal growth, self-discovery, and resilience. These topics represent a shift away from purely performance-driven content toward more narrative-driven storytelling. From a journalistic perspective, this change reflects a maturation process often seen in artists transitioning into new phases of their careers. By addressing more complex and personal subjects, is positioning her music as both expressive and relatable. Critics suggest that this approach may strengthen her connection with audiences who value authenticity. As her new releases approach, attention is increasingly focused on how effectively these themes resonate with listeners across different demographics. Can a quieter voice make a louder impact? One of the most notable changes in her comeback is her vocal delivery. While she remains known for her powerful voice, reports indicate that she's now using it with greater restraint and precision. Music analysts describe this shift as a move toward emotional control rather than sheer intensity. The production style complements this approach, featuring more minimalist arrangements that allow her vocals to stand out in a different way. From a newsroom standpoint, this evolution challenges traditional expectations of vocal performance. Instead of relying on constant high energy, appears to be focusing on nuance and subtlety. Early feedback suggests that this change enhances the emotional depth of her music, offering a new listening experience for both longtime fans and new audiences. Why are fans so divided over her return? Public reaction to her comeback has been mixed, creating a dynamic conversation across digital platforms. Some longtime supporters have expressed nostalgia for her earlier style, which was defined by high-energy performances and a distinctive rawness. Others, however, are embracing her new direction, praising the maturity and depth of her current work. From a reporting perspective, this division is not unusual during periods of artistic transition. Analysts note that such reactions often indicate that an artist is pushing beyond established boundaries. While not all listeners may immediately connect with the new sound, the level of engagement suggests that her work is sparking meaningful discussion. In an industry where visibility is crucial, this renewed attention may ultimately work in her favor. What role do collaborations play in her new chapter? Industry reports indicate that has been working with a range of new producers and songwriters as part of her comeback strategy. These collaborations are believed to have introduced fresh influences into her music, contributing to its updated sound. From a newsroom perspective, expanding her creative network represents a strategic move toward growth and innovation. Analysts suggest that working with different creative partners can help artists break away from familiar patterns and discover new directions. In this case, these partnerships appear to be shaping not only her sound, but also her overall artistic identity. Early indications suggest that this collaborative approach is playing a key role in defining her 2026 era. Will her live performances reflect this transformation? As anticipation builds around her return to the stage, reports suggest that live shows may undergo significant changes. Rather than focusing solely on high-energy delivery, her performances are expected to emphasize atmosphere and emotional connection. Journalists covering early previews describe a more immersive experience, with visuals and packing designed to complement her new sound. From a reporting standpoint, this shift highlights her commitment to authenticity across all aspects of her work. By aligning her live performances with her evolving music, is reinforcing the consistency of her artistic vision. Audience expectations are high, and early reactions indicate strong interest in how these changes will translate in a live setting. Is this the start of a completely new era? Music analysts are increasingly framing comeback as more than just a return. It is being described as the beginning of a new phase in her career. This perspective is supported by the scale of changes observed in her sound, style, and creative approach. From a newsroom angle, such transformations are often seen as pivotal moments that redefine an artist's trajectory. While the risks are significant, the potential rewards include greater artistic freedom and long-term relevance. Early critical response suggests that her new direction is being taken seriously, with many praising the authenticity of her evolution. As more details emerge, the narrative of a new era continues to gain traction. So what comes next for Courtney? As her comeback unfolds throughout 2026, attention remains focused on her future plans and upcoming releases. Reports indicate that she is committed to continuing this new direction, suggesting that her recent changes are not temporary but part of a long-term vision. From a journalistic perspective, the most compelling aspect of her story is its unpredictability. Has demonstrated a willingness to take risks and challenge expectations, setting her apart in a competitive industry. While the outcome of this transformation remains to be seen, one conclusion is already clear. Her return has successfully reignited interest in her career. As audiences and critics watch closely, her next moves are likely to shape not only her own future, but also her place within the broader music landscape.